Welcome to Lost Without Japan, a travel podcast about the life-changing experiences of exploring Japan and those moments we would be lost without. For your listening pleasure, allow me to introduce your very own Kanko Guido, Michael.
Welcome to our 9th episode of Good Times, where we catch up with, guests, past guests, future guests, all of those good things. And, if you haven't already, go ahead and pull up your bar stool and join David and myself in Good Times for our 9th episode, maybe. I was kind of going back and forth with this. Is it 10? Is it 9? Eventually we'll figure it out. It's going to be one of those numbers in the title that you're going to see, and that will most likely, probably, potentially be the correct one. So I hope that you, if you're listening for the first time, choose to follow us through your favorite podcasting service. And, come this summer, June, July, something like that, we'll be back to having some video with our audio. And appreciate your patience as I've been kind of going through some classes, sicknesses, and surgery coming up on the 27th for my sinuses, which is probably going to put me out for a fair bit. So if I sound different after that fact, I hope it's sultry and, even more radio-esque when we get to that time. So we'll find out. But now that that's out of the way, you have that bar stool, you have your drink, you have your beverage, and you've made your way to Hiroshima to join David and I. Thank you for setting aside part of your time today. And we're going to say today's show, unofficially sponsored by Warhammer. Not that that's just a small company and needing any support, but that's what made me late to join David today. As my daughter and I, Addison, she picked up some Necron models that are in the army, some spiders and some other things that are here. And we were building those. And David said, we are indeed recording today. And I was like, sure. Because David, when we started modeling and putting things together, it was like 2 hours, plenty of time. I don't need to set an alarm. And again, that small little voice in the back of your head that says, no, go ahead and set that alarm. I didn't do it, David. So I'm glad you messaged. Sorry for making you wait. But good, family times, that bonding and all that goodness were being had at that time. So visit your local Warhammer store and buy some plastic at outrageous prices and build your own memories. So David, how's it going for you, buddy?
Well, thank you. And look, if you wanted to put off the podcast and just do Warhammer, I'll completely understand. So.
Well, that was going to be part of the news today that I was saving on, was that we're just going to switch the Japan podcast to a Warhammer one.
Like, now I'm applying the red paint.
That's right. Do you hear that? The ASMR? You hear the brush? You hear that paint on the plastic?
Did I ever tell you that, because I painted Warhammer when I was maybe about 15?
Okay.
And so I was given, or not given, somebody brought me, it was the Imperial Jungle Force.
Yes.
And it came with this really, I don't even know what it is now, but it was a massive tank. And being 15 at the time, and it was pretty much my first set, I used craft glue to stick together.
Why not? Yeah.
And when I look back at it now, I'm like, I just absolutely ruined a $300 kit. Just like that, because it gets even better, right? So I glue everything together, and the glue wasn't setting as fast as I was hoping. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to put this in front of the heater. Anyway, you can already tell where this is going, and the whole thing just pretty much shriveled up into not a blob, but something that resembled the tank before. So, and I was like, oh, okay, cool, that's no good. But now that when you think about it, you're just like, damn, somebody would have just forehead slapped, and we're like, "What are you doing?"
No,
So
yeah, Addison and I, like, like, we have our D&D that we do together, and I have a D&D that I'm group that we're a part of. Them, my one of my buddies I used to work with, and their friends, and kind of like an every other Sunday thing. But I've been out sick so often, frequently. Lately, it's been not every other week, but we are meeting again tomorrow, and been running that. So that's one thing that we do on a fairly regular basis, and I'm always looking to add something else. So we're going to see how it goes. Building their first model today. No rush, like, in the whole process, because they're expensive kits to buy. So,
mm,
we don't need to rush getting them put together too quickly, because that means you'd have to go back and buy something else. So, but I'm constantly working on mine right now. I have the Adeptus Custodes, which is a bunch of, like, gold shiny guys, and that's what I've been doing in between classes. Because, like, you study for class, you're doing all these different things. I'm working multiple jobs, and I get done with everything, and I'm like, I should go to bed, but I don't want to go to bed, like, straight to bed. So, like, I've just been for like 30 minutes just painting stuff or putting things together to give yourself like a mental, hey, I did something today besides just adulting. And
yeah.
I'm like, hey, Addison, would you be interested in this? We went to the store, walked around. That's the one they saw. So we'll get back to our Japan Center talk, but um, talking of One Piece, which is not Japan. Well, I mean, Japan's adjacent. Buddy, you know what I got in the mail? Um,
What's that?
the package that I sent to you in July of
Oh,
last
it's what?
year. The One Piece, the pack, it's that thing. This one, the one that Maurice and I opened and I had sent to
Yeah.
you, and I'd spent like $50 to have that shipped to you, David. I received it back. Never made it to you. I'm like,
Did
I
you
sent
get your
this in
$50 back?
July. It's March. No, you don't get nothing back, buddy.
That is so
But
funny.
it was like,
Oh,
it made it all the way, to you. Like,
where did it go?
I don't know what happened, buddy. But I'm like, I, all around the world, apparently, it made it into, Australia at some point in time. But I don't know. So that's like February, March, April, May, June, July.
That is
Or I know
crazy.
let's go July, August. Or sorry, let's do
Oh,
this right this time. August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. 8 months, buddy. This has been in transit to various places to finally make it
that
back
is
to me.
crazy. Look, at least that box went on a holiday, I guess. But um,
Yeah,
but yeah, the
yeah, no,
funny thing that you
that's one
said
of
it
those.
because
Yeah, like, it's just crazy.
I remember you said like you have a package coming in and I was just like, oh, nice, thank you very much, and I was kind of keeping a lookout for it. Never arrived. And I didn't want to ask about it just in case. I didn't want to be awkward. I'm like, okay, cool. And just never was a thing. So, um, but yeah, is any like, what was in the package? I can't remember.
It was what would have been the smart thing to do, David, would have been to buy it through eBay and had them ship it to you. That would have been the
Yes.
smart thing to do, not spending $50 US to ship something to you. You know what I mean? But it was one of these, and then it was like sleeves, from the
Yeah.
One Piece store,
Did you
and
at least
that was.
crack that box open?
Yeah, cracked it open because I
Oh,
was like,
fuck.
if I'm gonna get this again for
You're
David,
gonna get your money back now.
there was vodkas in it too. It's like
Yeah.
it knew, buddy. This box was like be to like beyond recognition. It had been retaped again multiple times. I really should have taken a picture of the box. But it was trashed, my man, trashed. So
My goodness.
I open it up thinking, like, if it's something good, you and I, we could split this thing. Like, if it's one of those like $1,000, $2,000, manga art variant ones, I could be like, hey, David, you're bet,
Hey, it would have been
like,
audio.
here's some bills. Here's some bills.
For
Like, we
me,
got
like, I never
something.
got it, so
But man, yeah, no, you didn't. And 8-month holiday, man. I would love at some point in my life to do an 8-month holiday. traveling around the world. But this box did it.
Well,
So,
if you think about it, $50,
you know,
that's quite cheap for around the world holiday. So for 8
yeah,
months.
yeah. I mean, like, what are you gonna do? So I'm figuring, like, you've been watching out because I want to get those. I don't know that I want to get the Gundam Trading Guard game, but the Gundam miniature game, like the board game thing, that's going to be
Yeah.
coming out. I am down to clown with that, like, 100%, because
Yeah,
who
yeah, yeah.
doesn't like, more plastic stuff to play with? So, but yeah, I
Extension.
just want to let you know, buddy, $50
Oh,
holiday, 8 months. That's a budget.
um, um, just before I forget the topic, we were saying about like, well, now it kind of rolls into the Gundam miniature figures. Um, that do you reckon they're kind of like sweating because of like 3D printing is becoming like really good?
I think, like, I've been watching a ton of videos, buddy, because I was at a point of where I was like seriously considering buying a 3D printer and just getting the STL files and, like, doing my own thing. Like, here I've got the files, I'm going to print something. I'm going to play with it. I don't need to give you my money directly, but if you want to start sponsoring the show, like by sending, a Necron army for my daughter to build, like, I'll be all behind you. But, like, I was looking at like whatever I could do to 3D print something, and it's getting closer, David. But I want to say it's probably another, let's say, like 5 years or something like that out before, because, like, the printers that really do the best job are resin.
Yep.
But that stuff is toxic, man. Like, that's the stuff that you don't want to inhale, you don't want to touch, you don't want to do anything with. And
Yeah,
I have
you need to
zero
print in
interest.
your garage or something, or your shed.
Yeah, yeah. Like, I have zero
Or your
interest
neighbor's
in doing that. Yeah, But there's another one. There's like another printer thing that's like with plastic more, and those models are coming along, but it's just like it's not close enough yet. Um, but man, yeah, I would think they're gonna have to figure something out, because every year in June they raise the prices of the models like a certain percentage, just like clockwork. Every June, they never maintain the price; it always goes up. you know, so crazy, man,
They might.
crazy.
I think in
Um,
the future they just might sell like single-use files, perhaps.
I
But I don't really see that really kind of happening. Well, maybe, who knows? You might be. Who knows what the future's gonna um be like? But yeah, I don't know. I reckon that's most probably the go. But on the subject of Gundam, I
yeah.
got myself. Sorry, I was just getting up to get it. Boom, a sealed beta pack. Here it is.
I remember you
So,
talking about that, my friend. I went online and I was checking, because I'm not against, buddy, like, getting cards and games and stuff. You but I think that was a wise investment, my friend. Wise investment. I went online and I looked at like the pre-order for that stuff, that had been up on the US, and man, I feel like I missed out.
yeah, look, I would say these particular like beta boxes, they or the English versions, I think they dropped down in price ever so slightly. Because when I bought this, I paid I think 900 AUD. So I'm not sure what that would be in US. Let me convert that now because I got it online. Yeah, so I think they've come down a little bit because they've had like more like releases, like people
Okay.
been holding it for a while, and then kind of. So we're looking about. So that is $569 US. So it's not super crazy. Like that is all right, Like any more than I would be like, I would just put on my Japan holiday. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but for something that definitely would have value in the future, I reckon it'll be pretty cool. So now it's just investment in time. So
Oh,
yeah,
I like it, my man. I ended up I haven't just been playing with plastic models. I've been doing a little bit of day trip work too. So I have a episode that I need to record before I do my surgery. Because like I said, I'm going to be out for like that week afterwards, and for a little bit. They were saying it's gonna take a bit. It's gonna take a bit, my man. So I want to get this recorded, but I had set up some day trip things, doing some research and things like that. So I'm gonna try to get that cranked out this upcoming week, and pull something else together just so I have time to recoup. Get to feeling back to somewhat better, and go from there. So it's good. But I've been watching some movies too, not just playing with plastic models and stuff like that, but ended up part of those movies that I was buying that were most of them were not good, that we had talked about when we were with Maurice last time was I ended up watching Our Little Sister, and that was fantastic. It's I want to say it's a little over 2 hours. Did Definitely didn't feel like it, and deals with a bunch of things. There are a group of three sisters, and they end up finding out that basically they have a fourth younger sister, from their dad. Like their mom and the mom and dad divorced, separated, went off their different ways, and when he was off on his, with his newer wife, had a daughter. And I'm not giving too much away here, but the movie kind of starts with all of this: as the father passes away, they find out that they're going to go see, be there for the funeral and everything. They find out about the sister, but it is well worth your time. I paid for it. I'd rent it easily. But I would, it's definitely one I could see watching again at some point in time. Deals with a lot of, family dynamics, different things going on. There's a lot, like with all the different sisters, kind of their own things that they're dealing with. But one thing I liked about the movie was there were ups and downs to the whole thing. And maybe if I was, Japanese, like, within Japan, that's where I was, what was happening in the movie would be more, I want to say, like, would come off as harsher. Like I kept on waiting. Like, sometimes movies, you watch a movie and it's like you have the up part of things where everything's kind of cool and these nice things are happening, and then you wait for it to drop out and go like extremely poorly before it starts working its way back up again. And the movie definitely had ups and downs. It definitely had struggles, but there wasn't like this intense, like, horrific thing that happened that they kind of come back from. And I almost appreciated that, my man. It was like, so I would definitely recommend that to the listeners, for it. It was a fantastic time. Loved it. And I also, you know, have a couple others that I have lined up ready to go. And I've been looking to do the Yakuza series. They have the, uh, Like a Dragon, but it's a pirate this time, my friend. So I have that lined up, and I have the Life is Strange that we were talking about last time lined up for that week of recovery time when I'm up for feeling like doing something that can't go out yet. I'll report back to that, my man. How about you?
Um, yeah, I just looked it up on Google. So for anyone who really cares about the IMDb scores, I'm a person who kind of follows it a little bit because it is kind of a good measurement. But yeah, so it's rated 7.6 out of 10. So that is pretty high, if you ask me. And also came out in 2015. So, yeah, well, for myself, I haven't really watched any movies. I'm very much. It has to be a really good movie for me to watch. And if you give this a pretty good review, so that's now on my radar to watch. So, but
Yeah, I've
on
been doing
another
that
note
in
too.
anime. I've been like going through my sorry.
Anime. Well, the only thing on anime I've been watching lately is now I'm blanking out. Is the what do you call it? Matsumoto? He's that assassin that has the convenience store. It's on Netflix.
Yes, yes,
Oh,
on
good.
Netflix. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So that's one thing
I've
that
been watching
Netflix
that,
has done
as well, my
well
friend.
with.
That's been good.
But yeah, that one I've been watching, like, because I think they release an episode each week. So yeah, me and my partner sit down and we just watch an episode. And also that My Happy Marriage. So that's also a pretty good one. We've been watching season 2 now, I believe. But
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
and that one's pretty good too. It's got like a nice little storyline. But yeah, I recommend watching both. I'm not going to go really much into it because I'll most probably going to go in a rabbit hole of just explaining. and, and I know I can go definitely down one of them. So, but also too, I remember like you posting on your Instagram how you on Audible you listened to the last Yakuza.
Yeah.
And I was just like thinking, I was like, wait a minute, did I listen to that book? So I went back, dug back down to my because I have on my Audible 156 titles over the span of 4 years. So, and that's more books than I would actually read in person in the last 10. So, yeah, that was a really good book. Like I had it purchased, but I never opened it up because it must have got buried. And then I was like, wait a minute, I know that. And yeah, I finished it last week. So, and that was a pretty good little audiobook, I'm saying.
There was a lot of like a lot to it, and like so much kind of like history and things, and that book I almost felt like could have been two, like they could have spread it out
Definitely.
like even more, because at some points I'm like it was almost like overwhelming, the
Yes.
amount of like information and things you're getting.
Yeah. And like
you know
people too. Like, I think at one point people started to blend into like the one person for me. If that
yeah,
makes sense,
yes.
because I'm just like, wait, who's this person again? Is that the So I had to go back. No, well, yeah, I'd say like 2 times to really absorb what was said. Because also too, I'm working away at my job while I'm doing this, so sometimes I would let like 10 minutes pass, and I was like not really concentrate on the book. If that makes sense, and then I'm like, oh damn, I have to go back. But
Well,
that
like
was pretty cool.
yeah,
Really cool.
and it was cool, because the author J.K. Adelstein followed me on Instagram after that post.
Oh
So
wow.
that was cool. So I'm gonna have to reach out because that'd be cool to have him on, talk about the shit, his books, like, everything that he's kind of done and just his life in Japan. So,
Yeah, you whatever.
it was just cool. I was like, maybe, you know.
Oh
So,
look,
uh,
you'll be very surprised. I reckon he would do it. If not, I'll
yeah,
pressure him. Like, come on, man.
that's right. That's right. Like, uh, that's like, man,
Um,
I get good Audible credit on this book.
yeah,
I believe.
that's it. So, like a little butterfly effect, one little good review would just maybe absolutely just blow up, and he'll be like, "Oh my god, thank you very much."
That's right. Maybe they'll finally make a TV show, a TV series out of one of your books.
If it was a TV series, that would be pretty cool.
Uh,
I'd watch that.
yeah, his HBO one, the previous series and stuff like that. Tokyo Vice,
Mhm.
that had 2 seasons. It was on HBO.
That's right.
Um, the book was better. Like the series was nice, I said, but the book was outstanding. So
Yep.
just good times, oddball. uh, how about you, my man? Are you doing any? Have you been doing more tournaments, or what's been going on with you,
No,
buddy?
I would say for me in One Piece at the moment for the last 2 weeks, because OPO 10 just dropped. So, and I didn't even get to attend the pro-release events on them. Like there was one yesterday. So, um, also too, like even with OPO 9, I've kind of like I didn't even purchase a full booster box off that. So I've just obviously been buying packets here and there and getting what I need from them. So I'd say it's slowed down just a fraction, just because of I would say the current meta right now is just kind of, I wouldn't say boring, but it's kind of like Doflamingo is still one of the. It's slowly transitioning. I want a complete refresh of like what is currently being used instead of like, a deck that slowly bleeds into the next set, and then it's still kind of powerful because it has. I'm pretty sure the Bandai is kind of making it more, like they're trying to circulate things more, but I don't think it can come soon enough because it's already been like almost a half a year for like Doflamingo just really being a good deck to use. So, and there's others like Rebel Luffy. So, but yeah, it's just, and also finding time to, like work, clean the house, bit of PlayStation 5 because I got a game on there I'm really working on. I'm pretty sure I mentioned it before, like Off Grid. Really cool. And that's the only game that I play anyway too. I just absolutely put some hours into that. Because you got some people who just absolutely, they're like, let's say if I put myself on a scale, let's say get like A, B, C, and D. I'm definitely in the B tier, but they have like maybe 6, 7 people who play on the Australian servers that absolutely just crazy at the game. And funny thing is, I'm pretty sure because I watched one of the dude's streams. I'm like, how's he so good? Like, is he cheating? So I watched his stream. I found him on there, and yeah, he's actually got a pro controller. So I was like, that's it. Because the way that he plays is that you don't actually take your fingers off certain buttons. You can actually just use the paddles, and that is a game changer. I'm like, oh my god, that's the secret sauce. So.
Did you already order it? Did you get yourself one?
No. Well, geez, after this vet bill that's about to happen, holy moly, I don't think I'm going to be good anytime soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's something that I might purchase. I would actually save up for slowly. Like most probably can buy it now, but money's just going everywhere, so I'm just kind of like, let's just kind of just save some cash. I don't actually have to spend 350 Australian dollars. Oh no, actually 320 to beat some dude. And it's not even a guaranteed. So and also too saving up more money for the next Japan trip that's happened. I'm not sure if I mentioned it. Did I mention it?
Yep.
That's happening in July in 2025. So a couple months away. So
it's gonna be great, man.
That's another thing we can talk about too, because we just pretty much in the planning stage now. We've got the plane tickets, and now that we worked out exactly, this is still subject to change in the next, I would say, week or two. But we found out kind of the best route around, because we want to visit more Kyushu region.
Okay.
So down south. Obviously it's going to be in July, so it's going to be hot. But so I can tell you what we have at the moment.
It'd be great, man. Because Sam is going to be going with his buddies. He's going to be there during the summer too. I'm not sure what time,
nice.
But everybody's going. But I'm starting to save, man. I got 2 years or ish. I think I'm gonna try to save as much as I can for my daughter and I to go. So that'll be the next time. But man, I'm gonna be living vicariously through you for sure, bud. What you got? What do you got planned so far?
So, okay, alrighty, here we go. So forgive me if I mispronounce some names, because I bet you some people will be screaming like, "Damn Australian!" Okay. So we are going to be there for 18 days, I believe. So from so 18 days. So from the 10th to the 19th of July. Wait, that's not right. That's only 9 days. So no, sorry, my bad. 29th of July. Because I was about to say, I'm like 19th. Like the whole point was to go there on my birthday. That's on the 21st. Um, yeah. So we start off in Tokyo. And then from Tokyo, we're gonna try to go down to the. Have you ever heard of the Nashiyama Onsen Kaisen? Like it's the world's oldest hotel by the Guinness record.
Yes. Yeah.
So I saw that a couple of years ago, and I was like, that would be pretty cool to kind of see, and it looks really lovely too. So it's a pretty much like a 4-star hotel, but what I've witnessed, if you go 4-star in Australia and 4-star in Japan, the stars go like kind of higher in Japan. You're just like, what the hell? Why would you? This is not a 4-star hotel. This is easily like 5-star or 6-star. It goes that high.
Yeah.
So we are, because my also my partner too. We share like our birthdays 2 weeks apart. Exactly. So this is kind of like our birthday trip. So, and also too, there was a couple of things we wanted to do last trip. We went in Christmas and New Year's. We just wanted to kind of do two that we didn't get to do. So, so we're just like, yeah, she's the one who brought up the idea. She's like, look, I think we can do this. And I'm like, oh my goodness. I knew I picked you for a reason.
That's right.
Yeah. So, and then from that, the Nishiyama Onsen, we go to Fukuoka. And also too, because we want to go to Korea for maybe, let's say, 3 nights, 4 nights.
That'd be awesome, my man.
So we still haven't worked out this part yet to like fly there or catch the ferry over. I think the ferry would be pretty cool, but we might lose a bit of time, and I'm not sure if we're time sensitive on the trip yet to see, because I'm pretty sure we have roughly about 2 to 3 days at each place. If that makes sense.
Okay.
And that's including going to South Korea. So yeah, we'll go from Fukuoka to South Korea, and we'll go to the Busan and also Seoul. So Busan is one of the closest coastal cities.
Gotta take a train to that,
Yeah, and then I think
after the movie, you gotta have your whole zombie experience. The train to Busan.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Yeah, so from there, go to Seoul, and that's most probably there for 2 nights, and then back to Yokosuka, Japan. And then from there, we will head off to Nagasaki. So that was one of the places I would really love to go, because obviously from the history, because I remember the first time I heard about like Nagasaki was my dad always spoke not about it exactly, but I remember he was talking about like the bomb and everything, and that there was just like a name that kind of like stuck in my childhood, well before I knew exactly what I know now, really. So yeah, go to Nagasaki, and also it being a very beautiful city too. Like just being out where it is, just seen a couple of photos, and I'm like, damn, I need to go there. And then from there, go to Kumamoto, and then from there, go to Beppu, the little onsen village that has all the thermal hot springs and some pieces. So, I'm pretty sure some of it might still change, but we pretty much have a solid plan. So, yeah, what are your thoughts?
Love it, my man. That's actually, It's funny that you say that because I have Nagasaki is like the next day trip that I'm going to be doing
Mhm.
talk-wise. So that's perfect. That's a perfect transition. Couldn't have paid for
Whoa.
better.
Yeah, well, definitely I'll be, listening out for it because there's you're just in Japan, there's so much to do. Even if, like, you're in a town that has you know, pretty much almost nothing to do, you can still find something, if that makes sense. Just have to look hard enough. So, yeah, so I reckon that's a good round trip for the least.
No, I love it, my man. That's gonna be. I'll be so excited for you. As closer it gets, to celebrate your birthday. That's what I'm hoping to kind of do. Is that like if Addison and I can do like in 2 years and change for that to be June, and then I could celebrate like my 50th, and being there with them, and that'd be good times had by all. So
Yeah.
that's gonna be the push. I'd really like to try and have it at that point in time. Just hope everything works along with it. But yeah, 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 I like it. Um, yeah,
Well,
yeah, it, it's gonna be perfect.
so if you think about it too, like 2 years' time, anything can happen. You never know what's around the corner, so good luck could happen, you know what I mean? Like, so that trip may be sooner, than you think, really. So,
That's what like you at least got to keep it, and it's you don't know. I'm like you don't know for stuff that's there, and it's like I just look forward to it. We have a couple things planned, like this one like Megajima Island, which was like near Hiroshima, to go there because it's like you can see your stars, and just there's not many people that are there. There's like a not the main Cat Island, but there's another one that's in that in the area that's that I've done, like go out there. They have like some cafes and various things, again kind of removed from. We want to go do some blown glass at the one um, art studio that's like north of Tokyo. Do Tokyo, do Hiroshima, see some friends and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, shoot, like in 2 more years, when that happens, then I'll be getting down to like 7 years or so until making that transition over myself. So, but yeah,
mm,
you with like with Korea, that's like definitely been on my list of stuff that I've wanted to do for a while. So, like, but when you start speaking Onsen, it kind of ties into like for Sora News. It was on. I saw it on Instagram too, but one of the things I saw on Sora News was that they have uh, Princess Mononoke Hime, is going to be coming to IMAX in the U.S. I don't know about by
yes.
you, but on the 26th of March. They have like a 4K restoration that's going to be in IMAX, and it's like literally the day before my surgery, so I won't be doing it. But
Oh,
man, I'm hoping maybe it's running for the week, and maybe I could run, or for a little bit more extended time, and I can go see that because that's a fantastic movie. Um, and just I just hope that, like I said, that they have it out for more than just you know those times. But I think it's going to be a sure. It looks like, at least for me, um, I think it only goes into like through April 1st.
yep.
So it does give me some time. You know what I mean? Like to try to, because it's 31st would be like Tuesday that following week, or
Mhm.
something. But maybe it'll be super popular, and it'll just stick around for further. But man, that would be just fantastic movie. We watched like Addis and I, we ended up rewatching From Up on Poppy Hill,
Oh,
another
love that one. Perfect.
and it's like Addison was like, we were talking, she's like, and they're like that's like could be their favorite Ghibli movie, and that's just the soundtrack and things. We lost internet for like a day, so still having that physical media was came in clutch,
Uh,
because popped that into the PlayStation 5 disk drive, and I was just like, hey, we don't need internet, man. We got this covered. So
yep.
we watched that too. But man, to see Princess Mononoke in 4K on IMAX restored, that's sounds like a fantastic time, my man.
Yeah. That'll be awesome. Um, I remember reading something about it. Was it on Sora News? Yeah, but the sort of the same thing, but I'm not sure if they're gonna have. Oh, dare say, did you have the Boy and Heron release?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, so we had that here too. So I'm definitely gonna say that they're trying to make it like more global. So if they're doing it in America, they might be doing it in Australia. So I'm looking it up right now, but nothing popping up. But if I had to put money on it, I would definitely say it's coming to Australia, and that would be something that would be. That's also a movie that I enjoyed too, and I kind of like enjoy like animes and movies that were from the period in the 90s. Even like 88 too is not too bad. Like it does, and it most probably sounds very so like stereotypical to say it, but it is very nostalgic. Like that's why I still love like because like the Ghost in the Shell, you know what I mean? Like I just watched the making of it, not too I would say about 4 days ago. Because I was like, oh wow, they have like the making of, you know, and then they have like the interviews with like the sound director, the artist who animate the movie, and also even like the person who just like sound directed everything. So and really cool, you know, like it's just something really nostalgic about that time, you know what I mean? And also me being born in 1990, you know, it's kind of like, well, I still was kind of part of that era. So, and it's just, kind of me. But yeah, and then also too, there's just the style that they animate in is, it just always just comes down to nostalgic type of things. Not
Oh,
saying
no,
anything new now, like, I love everything that almost comes out now, and I'm just nice. That was really well done. So, yeah. So,
oh, I like it, my man. I said because it's like it is like you like when you have like things like Your Name come out, or you have like just movies that are on that same caliber that hold up over time. Doesn't matter what time they come out in, but it is nice to go back and see movies that had that impact with you. Like I was rewatching Record of Lotus Wars. That's
mhm.
on Crunchyroll, and that was like when I was in high school type of thing. Me and my buddy would sit and we would spend a weekend, just doing that VHS box set, just cruising through that. So being able to watch that again, you have that same thing, my man, same thing.
Mhm.
So, but
Cool.
my daughter, I know they're going to be sitting down in a moment. They're going to be doing their Japanese lessons. So I'm hoping 2 more years of Japanese lessons when we go, they can just take over everything.
That's one thing too that I'm trying to reboot now too is because after I listened to let's say like the audiobook, the audiobook last Yakuza, also noticed that I had some kind of Japanese lessons on there too. So I was like, oh, let's throw them up, and I'm kind of trying to reboot that again, and I'm like, oh yes, it's kind of coming back to me though. All those words I've kind of lost, and it's just words, not sentences. So
No. But it's like you like take that time, like anything you can, because that is something like that I want, and it's always on my mind. And I was thinking like after like this summer, I'm waiting to find out if 2 of my classes are approved to be done. But like after I get this certification out of the way and kind of go through, I think that's going to be something I might try to have to pick up myself. Because if I could do small little bits at a time, and get there, it made a huge difference.
mhm.
Like Sam, even though he had like very basic, is still way above what I've got. And it came in clutch at times, man. It really came in clutch. And I think it just, you do what you can do and hope it keeps going through, I'm
Yeah.
like, it's been great, So I'm like, I wish for you, I'll live vicariously through you, see you do it. And then I'll be like, man, I need to follow David and, do the same.
I'll just have a live stream just
That's right. That's
on my
right.
chest, just so you can just always check in what I'm doing. You're like, he's at the toilet again. Why is it always?
That's right. You finally got that
Um,
remote control.
yeah. Also, talking about like, because it just reminded me when we were talking about the Studio Ghibli stuff. I remember when I went to the museum in Tokyo, we saw the little short film, Mr. Doe and the Egg Princess, I believe it translates to. That was cool. That was really nice. Have a little theater there, and then you just sit there and watch it, and it was lovely. It was good. So it was nice to have kind of like a little experience for watching something there. So just thought I would just add that before I forget about it. And also brought a little mug that has the the little egg in the dough. So it was pretty cool. Very fun memory.
Well,
So,
I love it. Well, like next time, I know Sam was gonna be trying to hop on with us. I think we're gonna hop for another my Saturday, your Sunday, if he can join us, and then have Maurice join back in, and I think he can talk about his photo exhibit possibly at that point in time when we get together.
mhm.
Hang out some more, and I'm gonna, bit by bit, buddy. I see you, rocking the PS5, in the game and stuff. I was on with my sister yesterday doing Call of Duty. But
Yep.
yeah, man, I think we got a perfect time frame for today's show, my friend. For what we've got, this is going to go out, Monday. So give us, everyone a chance to listen, catch up. Look forward to Nagasaki's day trip, which I'm going to try to get recorded next week. So that could be, uh, you know, basically 2 weeks out, because our episode's going to come out on St. Patrick's Day here in Chicago. And then that day trip episode is going to come out on the 31st, and then that will give me a chance to come up with something else, like, interview or otherwise, for the 14th, because then hopefully that by that point in time it'll been like a little over 2 weeks. I can try to
Mhm.
sneak something else in if you're listening and it's Mike's favorite music from Japan. That's because I'm still recovering, and I hope you understand. You give me catch me a little break there at that point in time. But I'm hoping my sultry tones will come back and have that. But who knows? After that sinus surgery, I could sound amazing. That's what I'm hoping for. But yeah, if you haven't been to your local Warhammer store, tell them Lost Without Japan sent you, and they should sponsor us.
Oh
That's
my
that's
god, we
really what
should
it's
give him a
coming down
fake
to.
coupon code.
Right, that's right. Getting 0% off by putting Lost Without Japan in the discount code at warhammer.com.
And be disappointed.
That's right.
Like, "Aw."
Oh man. But no, David, thank
Fine.
you, man, for messaging today. Thanks for your
Yeah, no,
time,
good.
and everything.
I'm more than
And we're
happy
gonna
to catch up anytime, so
but yeah, I love hanging out with you. But yeah, I'm gonna grab things here. My daughter has some models drawing, so I'm gonna hop back with them. Put our audio in for some fine tuning and get it ready to go, my man. So thank you, bud.
yeah, love it. Alright, well,
Well,
yeah, lovely catching up, and, yeah, we'll talk soon again, and probably have another game or 2 of, Call of Duty, and, yeah.
you know where I am, buddy. I'm trying to get those St. Patrick's Day skins. So.
Very nice.
Oh, but good, bud. On behalf of Lost Without Japan and the entire crew, I'd like to thank you all for joining both of us today. And we look forward to seeing you both in the future on board again for our next regularly scheduled episode as we continue our discussion of Japan, travel, culture, and your lost without moments. And if one of you does bring the show a sponsor, you don't have to, worry about it. Stickers from the show would definitely be coming your way. So to everyone out there, oh, Ginky Day, stay well, my friends.